Think back to last week. Now think back to a single summer when you were 8 years old. That one summer feels like it went on forever. Long afternoons, endless days, a whole little lifetime. Last week, it's already gone. You can barely find it. Here's the strange part. Time hasn't changed. A year is still 365 days, but somewhere along the way, the years started getting shorter. By the time you're 40, a year flickers past. By 70, whole decades blur together. Everyone feels it. Almost nobody knows why. And the real reason isn't that you got busier. It's that your own brain is quietly erasing your life. Let me show you how. First, this isn't your imagination. Ask anyone over 30 and they'll tell you the same thing. The years are speeding up. Kids feel the exact opposite. For a child, the wait until a birthday is unbearable. Summer break stretches all the way to the horizon. Same calendar, completely different experience. So something is changing, and it isn't the clock, it's you. The only question is what, and whether you can stop it. There's an obvious explanation, and it's been around since the 1800s. When you're 5 years old, 1 year is a fifth of everything you've ever lived. It's enormous. When you're 50, that same year is just 1/50th of your life. A tiny sliver. So each year feels smaller because, proportionally, it is smaller. Clean, tidy, it feels true. But it doesn't hold up. Because if this were just math, time would shrink at a smooth, steady rate. A little faster every year, forever. It doesn't. People describe specific years that crawled and others that vanished in a blink. A year of routine disappears. A year where everything changed feels huge, at any age. The fraction isn't the answer. Something deeper is going on, and it lives inside your memory. Here's the key. Your sense of how long a stretch of time lasted has almost nothing to do with the clock. It's based on how many memories you made. The more new things your brain records, the longer that period feels when you look back on it. Now think about being a child. Everything is a first. Your first day of school. The first time you saw the ocean. The first time you rode a bike, lost a tooth, stayed up past midnight. Your brain is being flooded with brand new experiences, and it writes down every single one in vivid detail. Nothing is background yet, nothing is normal. The smell of a classroom, the feeling of sand, the taste of a food you'd never had, all of it lands for the very first time, and all of it sticks. Look back on it, and it's dense, packed wall to wall with memory. That's why one childhood summer can feel longer than an entire year of your 30s. It literally holds more. And there's a clean way to prove this. Psychologists call it the holiday paradox. Think about a week-long trip somewhere new. While you're living it, the days fly by. You're busy, absorbed, time disappears. But the moment you get home and look back, that 1 week feels huge. Bigger than the whole month before it. Same number of days. Two completely opposite feelings, because the trip was dense with new memories and the month before it was not. You've felt the extreme version of this too. People in car crashes, in sudden falls, in real danger almost all say the same thing. It felt like slow motion. Time stretched out, but it didn't. Your brain, hit with a threat it had never seen, started recording in a panic. Every detail, all at once. And all that memory, crammed into a few seconds, plays back later as if those seconds lasted minutes. Time perception was never about the clock, it's about how much you wrote down. And this is where it turns, because your brain is not in the business of recording your life, it's in the business of survival. And survival means it only bothers to save what's new. Anything it has seen before, it files away as more of the same and stops paying attention. Think about your drive to work. You've done it 1,000 times. You pull into the parking lot and you cannot remember a single second of the trip. Your brain didn't record it because there was nothing worth recording. Now scale that up across years. The same commute, the same job, the same faces, the same meals, the same Tuesdays. And your brain, efficient as ever, quietly deletes the duplicates. So when you hit December and think, where did this year even go? The uncomfortable truth is that to your memory, a lot of it never happened at all. There's even a fingerprint of this in everyone's memory. Ask an 80-year-old for their most vivid memories, and they don't spread out evenly across a whole life. They cluster between the ages of about 15 and 25. First love, leaving home, the first job, the first heartbreak, the first time the world cracked open and felt enormous. Psychologists call it the reminiscence bump. The years stuffed with firsts become the years that hold the most of who you are. Everything after, as life settles into routine, leaves a thinner and thinner trace. And here's the part that should genuinely bother you. It means the more comfortable your life gets, the faster it disappears. We spend our whole lives chasing routine, a stable job, a predictable schedule, the same comfortable evening every single night. It feels like the goal. But to your memory, a smooth, repeating life is nearly invisible. 1 week somewhere you've never been. Strange food, a language you don't speak, getting lost and figuring it out, will leave more behind in your memory than 3 months of an ordinary routine. The trip feels short while you're living it, and enormous when you look back. The routine feels endless while you're in it, and vanishes the second it's over. Comfort, it turns out, is where time goes to die. So let's go back to the question. Why does time speed up as you get older? It doesn't. The clock never moved. What's really happening is quieter and stranger. As your life becomes more familiar, your brain records less and less of it. And a life it didn't record is a life that, in the rearview mirror, simply isn't there. Time isn't accelerating. Your memory is going dark. But that means something hopeful. And it's the most useful thing you'll hear today. You are not powerless. You can slow it back down. Not with more hours, with more firsts. Take the road you've never taken. Learn the thing you keep putting off. Say yes to the trip. Every time you do something genuinely new, you hand your brain something it's forced to write down, and you stretch your life back out, one fresh memory at a time. And it doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need to quit your job or fly across the world. Take a different route home. Cook the dish you've never tried. Call the person you keep meaning to call. Sit somewhere you've never sat and actually pay attention. Novelty is just attention aimed at something unfamiliar. And your brain pays you back in the one currency you can't buy more of: time you thought you'd already lost. Because in the end, you won't measure your life in years. You'll measure it in the moments you actually remember. The calendar was never the enemy. The routine was. So before you go, one honest question. And I'd really like your answer in the comments. When was the last time you did something for the very first time? If you can't remember, that might be the most important thing this video just told you.